Hey, I really wanted to name this video, Boy, Was She Pissed. This particular client is someone who's self-employed, been self-employed for 14 years, makes great money, although not on paper. And for a lot of self-employed people, if they're not making enough on paper, and what that means is that as lenders, we can review the tax returns and calculate their income that they're reporting to the IRS and use that income to qualify them. And that's on paper. When there's not enough income on paper, there's what's known as non-QM mortgages, meaning that it's not qualified for traditional financing. So in this person's case, we use 2 years of business tax returns. Now that comes at a premium, and the premium is that's going to have a higher interest rate than traditional financing. And the reason for that is because it's not a cookie cutter loan, and it's not a loan that is secured by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. It's non-QM. And the pissed offness, if I can make up my own words, came when I was going over numbers, and I got, man, I've been working so hard. I make so much money. I've been doing this for 14 years, and I said as direct as I can be sometimes, and sometimes my directness can, you know, strike people a little bit. But I said, hey, if you're making so much money, then you gotta report it. If not, then you gotta deal with it. It is what it is. You're not in that upper echelon league where you've got tens of millions of dollars in the bank, and you can go and tell people what they're going to lend to you for and what they're going to charge you for interest. It is what it is. And I softened it after it came out that way, but I did explain. I said, years ago, and this story might not make sense to our situation, but let me explain to you, when I was younger and when I had credit issues, I was attempting to get an apartment, and I was relocated from my past retail job, and I had to get out of my aunt's house. And once the application came in, I got a denial, and I called the property manager, acting completely incredulous and saying like, oh my goodness, I never would have expected that. And I just went on and on, kept going on and on about how much money I made. And the property manager said to me, well, if you make so much money, why can't you pay your bills on time? And it was like a knife in my heart, and of that and shame of, man, you're calling me out. What else can I say? Ultimately, I negotiated either a 2 or 3 month security deposit, and it was a hard lesson to learn, besides all my other lessons when it came to credit. And it became important to me to be impeccable on my word on, if I'm going to borrow something, no matter what, even if I got to borrow from somewhere else to pay it, I'm going to pay that bill. So I explained to her that, hey, I might have come across as a little forceful, and maybe I told you something that I don't know if you need to hear this, but I'm sure you didn't want to hear it. But if we're not verifying your income and we're doing something that's non-traditional, you're going to pay non-traditional terms. So either look at a cosigner or start getting the tax returns in order, or take what you can get. And I think at the end she respected the directness and understood her position. So listen, if you're a business owner and you've had someone that's a mortgage person tell you that you don't qualify, happy to look at other alternatives for you. Some of those can be bank statements. Some of those can be just looking at your assets and using your assets to qualify your income. Others are combinations of those things. So if you've made it to the end and you got friends or family members or even coworkers that might be self-employed or have side gigs and want to buy something, share this video with them. And if you found this on my YouTube, I'd love a comment, thumbs up, and a subscribe. As always, thanks for watching.